Savannah's Silver Screen Saga, 1940 to 1979. Get ready for a blockbuster tour through the cinematic history of Savannah, where classic movie houses and sprawling drive-ins flickered to life, and sometimes closed their doors, between 1940 and 1979. The Roaring Forties, Resurrections and Race. 1941. A legendary space is reborn. The old Arcadia Theater gets a glamorous makeover from Weiss Theaters and reopens as the Roxy Theater on May 10, 1941. (1942). The former Folly Theater emerges under a new marquee, placing its first ad as the Bandbox Theater. 1945. Lights out. The Bandbox Theater shuts down and is demolished in May to make way for the shiny new Avon Theater. 1946. A cinema construction boom. Lucas Theaters unveils the elegant Avon Theater on February 13th. Weiss Theaters introduces its namesake, the Weiss Theater, on February 14th. On June 14th, Weiss Theaters opens the East Side Theater, dedicated to Afro-American patrons. 1947. The scene expands. The Pooler Theater in Pooler welcomes its first audience on August 6th. 1948. The Odeon Theater goes dark in February, but quickly returns as the State Theater on April 4th. Meanwhile, the historic Savannah Theater closes its doors. 1949, the drive-in era explodes. The Montgomery Drive-In opens for business on July 21st. The Circle Drive-In at Garden City illuminates the night sky, placing its first ad on November 1st. A smaller, intimate experience arrives with the Dixieland Theater, built with space for just 75 cars. The Fabulous 50s, Drive-In Dominance. 1950. A name change to avoid confusion. The original drive-in theater is shrewdly renamed the Victory Drive-In in January. More pavement-pounding cinema, the Highway 80 Drive-In at Garden City opens on January 18th. Weiss Theaters crowns the decade with the opening of the new Savannah Theater on October 21st. 1952. Two big changes shake things up. The Palm Drive-In opens on May 14th, while the classic Bijou Theater closes in November. 1953. Drive-ins diversify. The Highway 21 Drive-In opens specifically for Afro-American patronage. Tragically, two theaters fall dark this year, the Avon and the Pooler in Pooler. 1954. The al fresco experience continues with the opening of the Patio Drive-In on October 22nd. 1956. A theater gets a new identity. The Circle Drive-In at Garden City reopens on March 6th as the Dixie Drive-In. However, the year sees two closings, the Patio Drive-In on June 30th and the Palm Drive-In in August. 1957, the Dixie Drive-In at Garden City closes, proving even a good name change can't always save a venue. 1958, the State Theater closes, ending its second run. 1959, a cinematic staple is lost when Lucas Theater shuts down the Victory Theater on July 16th. The Swingin' 60s, closures and cineplexes. 1962. A pair of closers, the Dunbar and the Star Theaters both go dark. 1963. The East Side Theater, a pioneering venue, closes its doors. 1965. A dual resurrection. Weiss Theaters takes over and celebrates a grand reopening of the Montgomery Drive-In on April 16th. They reopen the Savannah on the very same day. 1966, modern cinema arrives. The Weiss Cinema opens on March 16th. 1968, theater expansion hits Savannah. The Weiss Cinema 2 opens on August 30th. The Terrace Theater opens on November 27th. 1969, a monumental year for moviegoers. The beloved Lucas Theater reopens on March 29th. Georgia Theater Company opens the Oglethorpe Theater on May 7th. Weiss opens the massive Weiss Auto Cinema 1 and 2 on June 27th. The 70s, multiplexes and midnight movies. 1970. The Avon Theater closes its curtains for good on July 30th. 1972. Weiss takes the wheel, acquiring the Highway 80 Drive-In at Garden City and the Victory Drive-In. 1974. Screens multiply. The Weiss Cinema Center reopens on August 2nd after adding its third screen. The Oglethorpe Theater adds its second screen on October 4th. Sadly, the Lucas Theater stops showing movies. 1975. A new type of venue, the Showboat Cinema, opens on December 30th and quickly pivots to showing adult movies. 1977. One more drive-in closes. The Weiss Highway 80 Drive-In at Garden City shuts down. 1978. The drive-in era dwindles with the closure of both the Weiss Victory Drive-In and the Weiss Montgomery Drive-In. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more.